Funhouse, where the wild and weird abound. From the serious to the paranormal, there's no telling what you'll find. Hosted by the one and only Paul, we'll take you on a wild ride through the realms of the unknown and the mysteries that hide. So come on in, take a seat, get ready for a show where anything can happen and the energy will flow. Welcome to the fun house where the music's loud and the lights are bright. A one-of-a-kind experience that will keep you up all night. You might get just Paul, or maybe one of his friends. Jazzy the Jester, Max the Magnificent, Logan the Legend. They're all here to take you on a ride. So join Paul and friends and let the good times roll. In the world of the fun house, where anything goes, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Paul's Funhouse. As always, I'm your gracious host, Paul, and today we are going to be talking about wrestling again. I know it seems like there's been a lot of wrestling talk around Paul's Funhouse, and that's because there's been a lot to talk about in the wrestling world. Now, the one thing that we're going to cover today is All In from AEW, coming to you from London this Sunday. Now, in 2025, All In will be in Texas, but this year they're still in London, and we saw them from Cardiff on Dynamite, and they're from Cardiff for Rampage and Collision as well. Now, with that being said, there are still some things that could change from what I have in front of me, but I am going to be talking about it. But be sure to check out the Kicking Out podcast Saturday, August 24th at 10:15 p.m. as Tanner Lee, Austin Shepard, and JPJ make their predictions for the KOP Predictions Championship. Tanner is coming in as the champion, so he'll have champion's advantage throughout the predictions and throughout the card as well. But it will be moderated, so I'm interested to see what the guys come up with. I know there's a couple of surprises for the guys, so that way there's no possible chance of another three-way tie like they saw at the previous pay-per-view. Now, with that being said, I'll talk about my thoughts, but I'm not calling them predictions on who's going to win each match and maybe even why. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. I'm not going in any specific order, but we are going to start with the 0 hour, the pre-show. And that will be Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Ishii. I am not 100% sure how I feel about this match right now, because I don't think that this should be a mixed tag match. I understand why it is, but I don't necessarily agree with it. But with that being said, I gotta go Willow and Ishii for the win, because I'm sure they're gonna do their normal mixed tag rules, which means that when Statlander's in, Willow has to be in. When Ishii's in, Stokely has to be in. Now, of course, Statlander could take on both of these two, being Willow and Ishii, by herself, which is basically what she's going to have to do. But she's not going to be able to be in there with Ishii, which is going to be the downfall of Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Now, I am a fan of Stokely. I know a lot of people don't like Stokely. I personally do. But I am kind of looking forward to seeing Ishii beat the crap out of him. So, there is that. Up next, as we get into the main card, the main show, we have a Trios Championship match. It is a 4-way tag match. Now, as of recording this, only 3 teams have been announced. I have seen a few things online to tell you who the 4th team will be, so I will go based off of that. And again, it could be wrong. But we will see the Patriarchy come in as champions versus the Bang Bang Gang and House of Black. Now, the team that I have seen being the 4th team in this is Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta. So Pac and the BCC will be joining this match if what I've seen is true. Again, I'm not saying it is, but I really hope House of Black comes out champions. We haven't seen House of Black have much gold here lately. There's been a lot of rumors around the mindset of Malachi Black and of Buddy Matthews. But I think if we see gold on them, we know they're going to stay. And me personally, I want to see House of Black stay. Especially Malachi Black. Now, I hope this entails a return for Moxley as well. So, like, maybe the Patriarchy beats down Pac, going, ha ha ha, now you're down a man. And then Moxley joins the BCC. That I would be okay with. And I would be okay with them winning Trios Gold as those 3. I think I'd be okay even if Bang Bang Gang won, honestly. I just don't want to see the Patriarchy win. We'll put it that way. Up next is Chris Jericho versus Hook for the FTW Championship, as Jericho calls it, for the World Championship. But we all know what it means. I mean, Taz created this belt. We know exactly what FTW means. Now, there is a stipulation. If Hook loses, he cannot challenge Chris Jericho again for the title. Alright. I hope Hook wins this, but at the same time, I hope Jericho wins it, just because I don't want to see Hook and Jericho again. We've seen this a lot. Luckily, this isn't like an every week they're battling each other and then at the pay-per-views as well. But the storyline between Jericho and Hook is just kind of getting stale for me. Now, if Hook does win this, I hope this is what drives Jericho fully over the edge. We've seen him kind of teeter back and forth, getting kind of a little bit darker each time he is on TV. If Hook wins, I want to see this be what drives Jericho over the edge to be that truly dark, evil bad guy that we know he can be. Up next, we've got Jack Perry defending the TNT Championship against Darby Allin. First things first, I want to talk about Jack Perry's TNT title, because I've seen a lot of hate for this title. I've seen a lot of praise for this title. But to me, this title is absolutely beautiful. Jack Perry made this championship at home with some blood splattered on it. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. The fact that he took the time to create this version of the TNT Championship. I know a lot of people are going, well, every champion doesn't need to have their own variation of the title. But I kind of think that's what AEW's doing, just so there's not necessarily the need for nameplates. I know the AEW World Championship has kind of utilized the circles on the side for a version of a nameplate. Personally, I'd be okay with bringing nameplates back, slapping them on all the titles like it was in the good old days, and going that route. But if they don't want to do that, the ability to create a variation of every title is fantastic, in my opinion. Some people will disagree with that, but I personally love it. Now, this Jack Perry Darby Allin match is a coffin match, and Darby Allin hasn't lost any coffin matches in his time in AEW, but I think this will be the first time that we see Darby Allin lose a coffin match, because Jack Perry just created this title. There's no way they're going to take it off of him already. That's just my opinion. Again, you may agree, you may disagree, but that's my thoughts on it. Up next, I want to talk about the Casino Gauntlet, where the winner gets an AEW World Championship match. As of recording this, we've seen a few people announced that they're going to be in it, like Hangman, Evil Uno, and a couple others. Now, this is one of those matches where you get a lot of new people debuting, or special guests, or returns. I think this is going to be the match where we see Ricochet make his debut. There's been a lot of buzz around Ricochet, and it just recently came out that he signed a contract. Now, I think this would be the perfect way to debut him. I'd also like to see Scorpio Sky in this match, and I'd be okay if Scorpio won. Who do I think's going to win this one? Overall, probably Hangman. And I will get to why here in a little bit. We'll save that kind of for last. But I think we will see a lot of fun in this match. A lot of surprises that you wouldn't expect, like Ricochet. I talked about Mox coming back for the Trios match. Maybe he returns here instead. I'm interested to see who all will be in it, who all will return, who all will be a surprise entrant like Matt Cardona, or who debuts. So either way, any way you look at it, it's going to be a fantastic match. This episode of Paul's Funhouse is being brought to you by the Kicking Out Podcast. Follow them on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. It's a wrestling podcast focusing on AEW each and every week. You can join Tanner Lee, Austin Shepard, and myself as we talk all things AEW. We'll get into some other stuff as well, but our main focus is AEW. And the fantastic news about the Kicking Out podcast is they've got great merchandise. So you can support a great podcast and look fantastic doing so. All you need to do is go to kickingOutShop.com to support a great podcast and look fantastic doing so. And there's some great news all August long. You can enter promo code FUNHOUSE and get free shipping on your entire order. It's kickingOutShop.com, promo code FUNHOUSE, FUNHOUSE, for free shipping on your entire order. So check out kickingOutShop.com today and get your Kicking Out Podcast merchandise. And now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Now that we've hit the halfway point of the card, we're going to be diving into a lot of championship matches. The one thing I love about All In is there are a lot of championships defended. Actually, this year, I think every championship is being defended, and I am all for that. Now, I don't mean every championship, because not all the championships we see on AEW are AEW exclusive. We've got the ROH titles that won't be defended. Mercedes is not defending her New Japan Strong Championship. Of course, Willow is not defending her CMLL Championship. But overall, the AEW Championship belts will all be defended at All In. And that's the one thing I'm most looking forward to, because as I look at the card, there isn't a single match that doesn't have a champion in it for a championship, unless you talk about the Casino Gauntlet match, which the winner gets an AEW World Championship match. So, I'm going to count that. Up next, we're going to be talking about a triple threat ladder match. These are always good. And this one is not going to let us down either. It's for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks come in as champions, defending against FTR and The Acclaimed. I am absolutely stoked for this match. I know a lot of people are like, oh, The Acclaimed. Okay, I think The Acclaimed could do some pretty good spots in this match. And that's what I'm most looking forward to. Because a ladder match is always chaotic. There's going to be at least some blood. There's got to be some type of blood from somebody. And because it's a ladder match, there's no disqualifications, which means we're probably going to get some special tacked up shoe from the Young Bucks again. I don't know what to expect out of FTR. FTR can put on some fantastic matches, but they're not really the high-flying, flippy-floppy type of guys. So I'm very excited to see what FTR can do in this match. I know a lot of people want FTR to win this. I'm one of them. I think it's time to put gold on FTR again. But unfortunately, I think the Young Bucks are going to retain. I don't know. I just got that feeling. But we'll see what happens. Oh, and I misspoke a little bit ago. I said every championship is defended. I forgot about one. The Continental Classic is not being defended here at All In. So all but one is being defended. There. I stand corrected. Don't at me in the comments saying, hey, you're an idiot, you forgot this. I remembered it eventually. I just had to get there. Up next for the AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm comes in as champion, defending against Mariah May. Now, Mariah got this shot at the championship thanks to winning the Owen Hart Cup tournament. I think this is going to be a very personal, very bloody type of match. This is not a no DQ match as far as I know, but I've got a feeling these two are going to bloody each other somehow, some way, because this is a very personal match. Mariah May started out being under Toni's wing, looked up to her, adored her, and now she's turned her back on her. I honestly think this all kind of started when Mariah was saying how much she appreciated Toni. Toni couldn't even remember her name, didn't remember she had talked to her, wasn't watching her matches. I think the only reason Toni ever acknowledged Mariah was because Mariah helped her win a couple matches, saved her from a few things, and I think that's the only reason Toni took Mariah in. And I think all of that is what led to Mariah turning her back on Toni. I'm interested to see exactly how intense this match gets, but I definitely think Mariah May is going to pick up the victory here. I know a lot of people are saying Toni Storm's going to retain, and I'm sure over on the Kicking Out podcast prediction show, we'll see at least one of them say that Toni will retain as well. But I'm going Mariah May on this one. Next, the AEW American Championship, also known as the AEW International Championship. Interested to see if the American Championship name sticks or if this is just solely something MJF is doing. But with that being said, MJF is your champion, and he will be defending against Will Ospreay. Ospreay has the hometown advantage, and normally that's a good thing. But I don't think MJF's going to drop the title yet. I think it's too soon. We know that at All Out, the winner of MJF and Ospreay will take on Pac. I think it's going to be MJF and Pac at All Out. And here's why. I know there's a lot of what ifs surrounding Daniel Garcia right now and his staying with the company, his leaving. But I think if Danny Garcia stays, he's going to be the one to take the title off of MJF. Now, if Danny leaves, I wouldn't mind them revisiting MJF, Ospreay, and Ospreay getting that championship. But again, I think MJF retains. It makes sense. All right, for the AEW TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné comes in as champion, defending against a returning Britt Baker. Now, as soon as Britt came back, she had it out for Mercedes because, as we found out on Dynamite, she used to look up to Mercedes, but now Mercedes is all about the Moné and not about what she has done in the past, which is put women's wrestling on the map. Keep it on the map. Now, my heart says Britt Baker wins this. Britt's back. She doesn't need gold, but let's put some gold on her. Here's the thing. Mercedes has help from Camille. I think that we see a returning Jamie Hayter help Britt win the title, or at least even the odds. But now here's what I'm thinking, all right? Jamie comes back, helps Britt win, and then we get that feud that was teased between Britt and Hayter when Britt was Women's World Champion, and then when Hayter won it as well. But I think we fully get this now. Britt will come out, she'll celebrate, Mercedes will come out on Dynamite, talking about how it wasn't fair, yada, yada, yada. She'll give her a rematch. Britt will pick up the victory again. And then Jamie will turn her back on her after that. I think that's where we're going with this. That's what I'd like to see happen, but it all depends on Hayter returning at All In. If Hayter does not return at All In, then I don't know if that storyline will happen, but I think it would be an absolutely fantastic storyline. I would love to see it happen, and I hope Tony Khan pays attention to this and puts some lead to paper and makes it happen. Main event time. The AEW World Championship match. This is a huge match. It is title versus career. Swerve Strickland comes in as your champion, defending against Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson got this match courtesy of his winning of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Now, a lot of stuff is going to happen in this match. There's no doubt about it. It's title versus career, for crying out loud. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one, I'm sure. Strickland goes over. Now, why? Well, because, as I mentioned earlier, Hangman wins the Casino Gauntlet match, and we know Hangman has beef still with Swerve Strickland. It only makes sense if Hangman wins the Casino Gauntlet match that Strickland wins the World Championship match. Because otherwise, what was the point of having Hangman win it? He's only after it because Swerve has it. Yeah, he wants it back, but he's got his sights set on Swerve as well. So, I think you have Swerve go over, Danielson fade to the back. He's wrestling without a contract right now, according to him, at least an in-ring contract. He does have a lot of health issues, and as much as I love Danielson, he's always been the underdog. I wasn't necessarily a fan of him in other promotions the whole time. He did grow on me, but I think it's time to let him fade to the back. I don't want to see him get injured again and end up never being able to step into the ring again, or not being able to enjoy his kids' lives as they grow up. So I think we see Danielson's career end this Sunday at All In. Now, what'll happen is Swerve will win. He'll celebrate. They'll shake hands because Swerve is a halfway decent guy. And then the thank you chants will start for Danielson. Danielson will sit in the ring. He'll kind of ponder if this was the right decision. He'll be joined by his BCC brethren. And then we'll go off the air. And then on Dynamite, Danielson will come out and he'll properly have his send-off. He'll thank everybody for supporting him, and he'll leave his boots in the ring. Now, he said this would be the end of his in-ring career. That doesn't mean Danielson goes away, and that's why I think that he loses this match. He could still manage BCC and come out with them. He could still do commentary. He'll still be doing stuff backstage. He'll still be a mentor to the younger talent. And I think that is where his focus should be right now. Maybe just managing the BCC and helping the guys in the back. Maybe come out on commentary for BCC matches like William Regal did. I think that would be the perfect fit for Danielson. Danielson's fantastic on commentary. I love listening to his commentary. And I think it would be a good fit for him. So that is why I've got Swerve Strickland winning this match on Sunday. So there we have it. There is a rundown of the entire card. Again, we'll kick off in the 0 hour pre-show, Statlander and Stokely versus Willow and Ishii. We'll see the Trios title defended in a 4-way match. Jericho and Hook will challenge each other for the FTW Championship. Jack Perry and Darby Allin go one-on-one for the TNT Championship in a coffin match. We'll have the Casino Gauntlet, which I'm sure will probably kick off the show. In all honesty, it makes sense because then you can have a segment where Hangman comes out during the championship match. Just my opinion, though. The Young Bucks will defend in a ladder match. Tony Storm looks to settle the score with Mariah May. MJF looks to shut up Will Ospreay finally. Mercedes looks to retain over Britt, proving that she is the CEO. And Swerve Strickland defends his title against Bryan Danielson's career. It's going to be a fantastic pay-per-view. Be sure to get it if you're a fan of AEW. It's coming on at 1 p.m. Eastern for the 0 hour, and then we will get into the main card after that. So look how you can buy it, whether it's through your cable or satellite provider or streaming service like Bleacher Report, Thriller, YouTube, whatever it may be. Be sure to get the pay-per-view and support AEW. And I will be back again next week. In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And stay tuned and stay weird.
This has been Paul's Funhouse, where the party never ends with all your friends. Tell all your buddies it's gonna be a wild ride. Join us next time for more fun and games. Like and subscribe, spread the word. It's not the same without you. Tell all your friends we'll see you real soon at Paul's Funhouse. Join us next time and be part of the fun with Paul and his friends. Stay weird and stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time at Paul's Funhouse.